Yo, it's your boy Logos, and today I want to react to one of my favorite comedians, George Carlin, talk about saving the planet. With George Carlin being George Carlin, I imagine you're going to turn it on its head or talk about hypocrisy or some craziness that people don't want to acknowledge. I think he's one of the best comedians of all time, up there with Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle, or even people that's older than both of them, Bill Cosby. Regardless of how you feel about the stuff that he did in his personal life, his way as a comedian is something that can't be denied. Same way with Richard Pryor. I think he's one of the greatest comedians of all time. Steve Harvey, I have a lot of respect for him as a comedian. Not some other stuff he talk about or says, but him as a comedian, he made me laugh many, many times. The things that these comedians can do, in my opinion, is take real world topics or just, I don't know, life events and find the comedy or sometimes the insanity in all of it. And that's what I love about comedy so much and comedians. They can talk about important topics, but make you laugh about it. But at the same time, you think about it in such a way you never would have before, and it might pique your attention in a way that it, I don't know, might not have any other fashion. But let's see what George Carlin got to say about saving the planet.
See, I'm not one of these people who's worried about everything. You got people like this around you. Country's full of them now. People walking around all day long, every minute of the day, worried about everything. Worried about the air, worried about the water, worried about the soil. Worried about insecticides, pesticides, food additives, carcinogens. Worried about radon gas, worried about asbestos. Worried about saving endangered species. Let me tell you about endangered species, all right? Saving endangered species is just one more arrogant attempt by humans to control nature. It's arrogant meddling. It's what got us in trouble in the first place. Doesn't anybody understand that? Interfering with nature. Over 90%, way over 90% of all the species that have ever lived on this planet, are gone. They're extinct. We didn't kill them all. They just disappeared. That's what nature does. They disappear these days at the rate of 25 a day. And I mean regardless of our behavior. Irrespective of how we act on this planet, 25 species that were here today will be gone tomorrow. Let them go gracefully. Leave nature alone. Haven't we done enough? We're so self-important. So self-important. Everybody's going to save something now. Save the trees, save the bees, save the whales, save those snails. And the greatest arrogance of all, save the planet. What? Are these fucking people kidding me? Save the planet? We don't even know how to take care of ourselves yet. We haven't learned how to care for one another. We're gonna save the fucking planet? I'm getting tired of that shit. Tired of that shit. Tired. I'm tired of fucking Earth Day. I'm tired of these self-righteous environmentalists.
Yes.
White bourgeois liberals.
Holy
who think
shit.
the only thing wrong with this country is there aren't enough bicycle paths.
I'm so glad he said that because right now, as we speak, we have these dumbass liberals or save the planet motherfuckers going and destroying national monuments, paintings. The fountain in Rome was like destroyed. Well, I would say destroyed. They poured like, I don't know, some type of black liquid into the fountain in Rome and like, I don't know, mess up the water and they got arrested for it. You have people blocking interstates because they're talking about save the planet and gas and I don't know, fossil fuels and stuff. Like, and I'm not saying I don't care about the future of the earth, but at the same time, get your ass off the highway. Get out of the highway. You lucky people notice you and they don't run you flat over like it's Tiananmen Square. This is ridiculous. Get out of the way. You're not helping anybody. You're not making me be more convinced of your side. Even if I do agree with your side, the stuff you're doing is stupid. It's idiotic. And if we like change all around overnight, like you somehow expect, I don't know what you expect to be doing with the stuff you're doing, but let's say that happens, whatever your grand plan is, the stuff you destroy is still gonna be destroyed. I just hate it. I hate it.
People trying to make the world safe for their Volvos. Besides, environmentalists don't give a shit about the planet. They don't care about the planet. Not in the abstract, they don't. Not in the abstract, they don't. You know what they're interested in? A clean place to live. Their own habitat. They're worried that someday in the future they might be personally inconvenienced. Narrow, unenlightened self-interest doesn't impress me. Besides, there is nothing wrong with the planet. Nothing wrong with the planet. The planet is fine. The people are fucked. Difference. The planet is fine. Compared to the people, the planet is doing great. It's been here 4.5 billion years. Did you ever think about the arithmetic? Planet has been here 4.5 billion years. We've been here, what, 100,000? Maybe 200,000? And we've only been engaged in heavy industry for a little over 200 years. 200 years versus 4.5 billion. And we have the conceit to think that somehow we're a threat? That somehow we're going to put in jeopardy this beautiful little blue-green ball that's just a-floating around the sun? The planet has been through a lot worse than us.
That's true.
All kinds of things worse than us. Been through earthquakes, volcanoes, plate tectonics, continental drift, solar flares, sunspots, magnetic storms, the magnetic reversal of the poles.
Asteroids.
Hundreds of thousands of years of bombardment by comets and asteroids and meteors, worldwide floods, tidal waves, worldwide fires, erosion, cosmic rays, recurring ice ages. Do we think some plastic bags and some aluminum cans are going to make a difference? The planet isn't going anywhere. We are. We're going away. Pack your shit, folks. We're going away. And we won't leave much of a trace either. Thank God for that. Maybe a little styrofoam. Maybe. Little styrofoam. Planet will be here and we'll be long gone. Just another failed mutation. Just another closed-end biological mistake. An evolutionary cul-de-sac. The planet will shake us off like a bad case of fleas. A surface nuisance. You want to know how the planet's doing? Ask those people at Pompeii who are frozen into position.
Jesus.
From volcanic ash. How the planet's doing. Want to know if the planet's all right? Ask those people in Mexico City or Armenia or 100 other places buried under thousands of tons of earthquake rubble if they feel like a threat to the planet this week. How about those people in Kilauea, Hawaii, who build their homes right next to an active volcano and then wonder why they have lava in the living room? The planet will be here for a long, long, long time after we're gone, and it will heal itself, it will cleanse itself, because that's what it does. It's a self-correcting system. The air and the water will recover, the earth will be renewed, and if it's true that plastic is not degradable, well, the planet will simply incorporate plastic into a new paradigm, the earth plus plastic. The earth doesn't share our prejudice towards plastic. Plastic came out of the earth. The earth probably sees plastic as just another one of its children. Could be the only reason the earth allowed us to be spawned from it in the first place. It wanted plastic for itself. Didn't know how to make it. Needed us. Could be the answer to our age-old philosophical question, why are we here? Plastic. Assholes. So, the plastic is here, our job is done, we can be phased out now, and I think that's really started already, don't you? I mean, to be fair, the planet probably sees us as a mild threat, something to be dealt with, and I'm sure the planet will defend itself in the manner of a large organism, like a beehive or an ant colony can muster a defense. I'm sure the planet will think of something. What would you do if you were the planet trying to defend against this pesky, troublesome species? Let's see, what might, viruses. Viruses might be good. They seem vulnerable to viruses. And viruses are tricky, always mutating and forming new strains whenever a vaccine is developed. Perhaps this first virus could be one that compromises the immune system of these creatures. Perhaps a human immunodeficiency virus, making them vulnerable to all sorts of other diseases and infections that might come along. And maybe it could be spread sexually, making them a little reluctant to engage in the act of reproduction. Well, that's a poetic note. And it's a start. And I can dream, can't I? See, I don't worry about the little things. Bees, trees, whales, snails. I think we're part of a greater wisdom than we will ever understand. A higher order. Call it what you want. Know what I call it? The big electron. The big electron. Whoa. 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 It doesn't punish. It doesn't judge at all. It just is. and so are we for a little while. Thanks for being here with me for a little while tonight. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think that's just, really good point that he pointed out. The Earth is gonna be here. Well, I hope not. I hope we can travel to stars, see other solar systems, colonize places outside of Mars and, our solar system. But like what he's saying is correct. The Earth been around for billions and billions of years. So the idea that we need to worry about saving the Earth, nah, you need to worry about saving ourselves. And I don't think you do that by destroying our history, destroying our art, and messing up people's day trying to get to work. Like seriously, that's not gonna help people get to your cause. That just makes people hate you and they don't want to listen to you. Regardless if you're right or wrong. That's just not the way to go about things in my opinion. I don't know, some of these precious art pieces I've seen with paint thrown on them, or just, I don't know, food thrown on, or just being, I don't know, just destroyed in different ways. It does nothing but piss me off. I don't cheer you on. I don't say you got the balls to do what's right. I think you're a psychopath, and the fact that you get dragged out, I'm happy about it. That is somebody's life work that you just destroyed. That is the opportunity for what millions, hundreds of thousands of people to experience that art that cannot happen now in the future because of what you did. If you want to talk about the earth, let's have that conversation. But in my opinion, it gets kind of muddy nowadays because it seems to be that governments or organizations want to control people and how they live in effect to try to, I don't know, combat the government, or I'm sorry, combat global warming or whatever they call it nowadays. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of that. I want people to have healthy lifestyles. I want industry to not do things that poison the water or make it harder for people to breathe, like what's going on in China or, Flint, Michigan. I don't like that type of stuff. But at the same time, having a carbon tax, it sounds like insanity to me. People saying it's sort of a world government. I don't know about that stuff in particular, but either way, I'm not a fan of it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Shout out to George Carlin, rest in peace. You one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. It's your boy Logos, and I'll see you next time. Peace.